up, y'all? It is me, Tasha C, and welcome to the Tasha C Show podcast, okay? Shout out to my podcast and my YouTube fam that have been listening, where you've been listening to any podcast platforms, and, where there have been 1 or 2, 3, 4 of our show, or you continue to listen on, and also my YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you've been listening to platforms, and, I have no problem if you follow me and subscribe on both. What was just Tasha C TV? Don't forget that TV part, okay? Anyways, y'all, hugs and love also for the people who support me in the near future and future. Hugs and loves in advance. Hugs and loves for people, YouTube fam, and my podcast and for supporting me. Like I said, I have no problem, and I strongly encourage that you follow me on both. Anyway, I know that's the same as plug, but anyway. So anyway, y'all, always gotta let the new people know that this, is a podcast, but it's mainly my bonus podcast, which I'm doing a YouTube 1-year series I decided to do called my 366 days video journey, which is just doing a video per day, and it could be a podcast or anything, and it's not stuck to any subject, okay? Well, that's kind of like my shows anyway. I know I only did a couple of them prior to doing this, but anyway, started last year, October 8th for my birthday, and then it posted in October 8th of this year, okay? That's my goal. So, here we go. So, y'all got plenty of podcasts to do, y'all, because it's so lovely. And speaking of this app, the Speaker Creator Studios, where I create these lovely podcasts, y'all may hear clicks, notifications, and in rare cases, maybe a click when the cell phone's call in, or because, y'all, the rare thing of this, what we still have in the house is, well, besides cell phones, is 2 landlines. And just in case people are like, what the hell's a landline is? It's just a house phone connect to a box where you have the phone. So, it was rare yesterday, y'all. I had it last night, where it was so random, the phone rang. The house phone, when the house phone rang. Both my parents, have house phones still. They had them before I was even thought of, okay? And so, in some rare cases, you may even hear a damn house phone ring, okay? So anyways, y'all, let's get into it. Well, I'm just gonna let y'all know that yesterday, if y'all listen again, my butt took chances of reading something at 3 minutes in about, it was some information about a Instagram page I follow about the real story of Uncle Tom. And y'all, when I'm reading it by the first paragraph, I'm thinking like, oh, I got enough time to read this. And I should have stayed on the speaker studio part, recording part, because, of course, this is the second time this happened where my podcast ended. I ain't got the next, I ain't got the package yet where, I can talk, where if I want to talk an hour plus more, it's almost near an hour, but it's not quite an hour. So what happened, y'all, and I was like, forget it. I'm just going to keep it, but I also wanted to finish that last segment part. So what I did, y'all, is the first time where, as far as right now, as far as me doing with the podcast, I actually just made part 1, which is 45 minutes, and part 2, which is about 9 something minutes. So I couldn't merge the podcast nor the YouTube videos together if you listen to YouTube. So say if you want to listen to one, or both parts, like I said, I just made part 1 and part 2, both for the podcast on the podcast platforms and on YouTube. So it's basically like an extra bonus video. But finishing off what I said. And so today, y'all, this is for Grammy night and stuff like that. This is for January the 26th for Sunday, 2020. Okay, Grammy night, all this stuff, whatever. And I'm recording it January 25th on Saturday, 11:55 p.m. Like I said, I could have waited until power came on and waited to just say a couple words about this episode, because we know next week is the final episode. And wait, do they come? Yeah, that's the same time. Interesting enough, if that's the last episode, that's gonna be interesting. But that'll be after Super Bowl. Yeah. No. It'll be before. Wait a minute, I just thought about it. That's gonna be interesting because that's the final show of the Power of this series. And if it's coming next week, come to think about it, y'all. Unless, like I said, the Stars thing, I could see it early, because I have Stars in the Star app. With the cable, whatever. I could see it around then. But I think Stars also comes on, I think comes at 8 or 9 o'clock, usually on Sundays, so PM. So I'm wondering how much people are going to watch that. Because, even though it's supposed to be, still so-called, protest, a lot of people still watch football. Even, Super Bowl, whatever, blah, 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 okay, whatever. So I wonder, the people who watch Power and just go ahead and just finish off and watch the rest of the series, see who shot Ghost / shot allegedly killed Ghost. If that's going to affect the numbers, considering that's the last show, come to think about it. Or are they going to skip the last episode? You know what, y'all, this is a little clicking before I go into the thing. I'm going to see, how sometimes they'll have on these show, like in Wikipedia or something, and sometimes they pre-show in advance, like when they sometimes go and air the episodes. So I just thought about it is that, by the way, y'all, this is day 111 of the series, so angel number. Be careful. You think positive, because the things you're thinking about are manifesting into real life. So, yeah. So, anyways, I'm trying to see here. It's back. Okay, originally air date. Okay, last aired February the 9th. That's what I was just thinking about is that the last episode, I wouldn't think they would run it. Okay, I'm going to the page where I clicked the episode Wikipedia. And I thought about it is, the last episode, I wouldn't think it would make sense for, because also Mario Van Peebles is supposed to be directing tonight's episode. You might say, yeah, tonight, because it's going to come on at midnight, that you can see on Stars, on the app, whatever, streaming whatever. And then you can see it later on 8, tomorrow, whatever, on Stars, or, if you know how to get it other ways, I'll leave it as that. So, yeah, so the final episode actually airs on February the 9th. That's what I just thought about. It's like, wait a minute. The whole Super Bowl, like I said, there's still going to be people watching something like that. So I'm like, I wouldn't think they would air the last episode during the Super Bowl, even though, we were supposed to be protesting, you know what I mean? But, okay. So anyways, besides that episode coming on, I wanted to say real quick before I talk about something else, that y'all, if y'all remember Mario Van Peebles, right? His dad is a legendary record actor, Mario Van Peebles. And the reason I want to talk about real quick is, y'all, a quick story, hot ass mess, and still disturbing to this day. I'm thinking, like, who the hell took this role in this movie, whatever, right? And you know how, if y'all have ever watched, like, certain films, just like they have banned books or whatever, they sometimes would have certain movies that were banned or rated X, and they weren't, like, actually shown, they actually are movies that are real movies, not actually considered porn, nothing like that, have been banned because they actually show, at times, real glitches, where it's like, okay, is this a movie or is it a porn movie, okay? Because sometimes they be showing actual sexual acts, okay? I remember Sleep Written this movie, whatever, just because to see the convert, and it's an actress, but she always like sometimes take like a little Cleo something, I can't pronounce her last name, and she actually was shown in the last scenes, whatever, actually showing having her boyfriend at the times she was up there, sucking shaft. I'll just leave it as that, okay? Up here, glazing the eggplant, okay? It actually showed her doing that. That was real, okay? So, there are some movies that actually during their show you the same thing you've seen in the dope porn, Okay, so, they just don't focus as much as the acting and porn. Okay, whatever, okay. That just took another subject. Okay, now the reason why I thought about was Mario Van Peebles. I was going to say song, but that actually is what it's based on. I had gotten this movie because I heard about it, and I was 18 years old. And this is when Blockbuster Videos and Netflix was on time. But, this was in Blockbuster Videos time. Sweet. Okay. And I remember seeing it, y'all. And even, this is what interesting when it brought up, because one of my English teachers talked about the movie and stuff. I was trying to rate the movie, but we didn't end up have time because of the, the class, but he was one of those cool ass teachers. He was even bring about South Park and stuff like that, and whatever. He was really cool, like I said, cool ass English teacher. But I remember him talking about the movie, about certain films and the impact. So like I said, it was one of the few English classes I took that actually was fun and entertaining. Okay, but this was when I was in college with. So okay, yes, his dad is Melvin Van Peebles. Okay. Now, like I said, our English, she was talking a little bit about and stuff in the movie. I forgot even the reason why. Maybe we're just talking about the impact of certain films and stuff. And what happened is that I remember getting this film and stuff like that. That brought us a video. And y'all, I was shocked as hell because of this. Now, I've seen some of Mario Van Peebles' movies, like when he was in the movie, I was going to say Colors. New Jack City was in there. That movie that was like a black version, it was a black cowboy, predominantly mostly black movie called Posse. I couldn't really say much because the time I think I seen it, it was underage I came up. And, kind of like those movies, I was surprised it wasn't like a cult classic, but I don't really remember. I just remember Mario Van Peebles, Sally, I think her name is Sally, a certain Sarah was in there. Melvin Peoples was there, just supposed to be a black version, like I said, it was a black version of a cowboy movie. Okay, but anyway, y'all, I remember seeing this damn movie, and the first couple minutes, y'all, everything just seemed cool. I know a spoiler alert, y'all, but I don't care because I'm not gonna go to the whole damn movie. But okay. But here, do y'all remember this movie? If not, try to find this shit, but I'm just going to let you know in advance. The reason why I'm more so telling this because I'm shocked as hell. What the hell was this? Why does this occur? Who agreed to be the actress in this damn scene? What the hell was wrong with her? Don't they have rules? What the hell is this? I understand acting is acting, but what the fuck? This is why I'm about to say this. So, there's a movie called Sweetback's Badass Song. Okay. And it's supposed to be, it is a 1971 black exploitation action thriller, written, co-produced, scored, edited, and directed, and divided and starring Melvin Van Peebles. Okay. I wonder did Tyler Perry get some hits from him about, doing everything. Okay. Because that's pretty much damn near reminds me of a very, very edgy version, like mentor of Tyler Perry, if you thought about it, okay? And his son, Mario Van Peebles, also appears in the small role, playing the title character as a young boy. It tells a story reported about his fight from the white authority, okay? Now, let me just tell you this. You might as well say it has some sex scenes, blah, 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 and all this crazy stuff. But like I said, the first scene was, you see this young boy, he looked like he was street, you don't know anything back about him, whatever, and you see these women that are smiling, he, with these women, and he's up there, eating some soup and stuff. And then, this is the part where I'm like, what the hell, because this is Mario Van Peebles as a child, right, maybe like 11, 12 years old, and that's what I'm saying, this movie should have had controversy just because, like I said, of this damn scene. Now, it shows, that while he's working, I guess, at a place, well, I'm glad they actually brought this up. I'll say this. I'm just going to say about the first paragraph, but I'm going to tell you what I've freaking seen, and then go from there. But here's the thing. I'm surprised they don't have controversy over this stuff. He's up here, like, doing his work, whatever, and some woman comes, asks him to come into the room, okay, right? She's up there, you see this woman's bare breast and every damn thing, titties, whatever, right? So I get, this brothel, whatever, right? And she asks, okay, put your pants out, get it, whatever. So you basically are seeing a stimulating scene, y'all shocked for about 20 minutes. It felt like 20 minutes, but 20 seconds, where you see the back of this little boy behind, and she's raping this child. That's what the fuck this is. I was just like, what the hell is this? And it changed where it changed shows. I guess he'd been, having since once he became an adult, because then it did some special effect where you see him with his stuff and she's calling him Sweetback when he's a child, where this bitch is a rapist, okay? And nobody paying attention at this, okay, whatever. So then it shows like he's older and, got off the same woman with her. But I'm thinking like, how the hell did she feel comfortable about taking this damn role? Even though you're stimulating, he's not making it. It was just really disturbing. And then they said, okay, I'm going to say the first paragraph. Okay, a young African American orphan is taken in by a proprietor of a Los Angeles brothel in the 1940s. While working there as a towel boy, he is raped. At least they acknowledge that. But like I said, I was surprised this ain't controversy just because of that scene. Okay. While working there as a towel boy, he's raped by one of the prostitutes at a young age. The women name him Sweet Sweetback in honor of his sexual prowess and large penis. As an adult, Sweetback works as a performer in a whorehouse, entertaining customers by performing in a sex show. Damn it, okay. So, anyways, y'all, okay, the critical section was mixed. And like I said, that was just too much. That's why I just thought about it. It's like, anyways, that's why I just wanted to put that in. I don't know if y'all heard about that damn movie, but I just wanted to tell you, I wasn't just trying to spoil for the think of just a spoiling. I more so just wanted to tell y'all because that we're seeing right there, and I'm surprised that's not considered one of the most controversial movies just with that alone. And then not only had a child, I'm thinking like, the mom was okay with this? I mean, they could have had that scene where they could have shown like there and edited where not actually showing like a stimulated like, pretend like sex scene and she's complete nude where she's bare-breasted and this young child is on top of this woman. They could have had like you come here and then just like you figure that imagine and show them as grown on top of the woman and just maybe heard some stuff, through the door her saying that stuff. But okay, y'all, hot ass mess. Anyway, before I go into the story, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and go to the story first, and then I have time. I'll talk about the petties in a minute. Now, this is I know I'm going to like over this now. They've been talking about this story for a couple of days now on Instagram. It was two comedians that also talked about the same story, y'all. Now, I live in the area, and the bank is the bank. Like I said, that this happened at is called on the TCF Bank. Now, the two branches, because they're setting by the Livonia, is actually Metro Detroit. Let y'all who are listening to me are from the D that know about this. Now, there's two locations, Livonia. I'm telling you right there, because I used to go to whatever, right? There's one, this is like for the Michigan people, know somebody in Michigan. There's one on Middle Belt, and there's one on Plymouth. So, I honestly don't know which one it is, but just to let y'all know what might happen. You get a check, a nice-ass check, and even if you got some money in there or whatever or not, you may go through this BS and sue their asses too. Okay, here's the story, y'all. Y'all heard about this. Detroit man settles race discrimination lawsuit. Then the bank won't cash his check. So that's more discrimination. I don't know how to spell the first man's name. It start with an S. We're going to call him Mr. Thomas, okay? Because that's his last name. Is Mr. Thomas, 44, Detroit. Sued TCF Bank on Wednesday, January 22nd, 2019, alleging, do they got this right, 2019? When did this happen? That's a whole year ago. Allegedly refused a deposit check from a race discrimination they lost, so he settled back because from a check race from a race discrimination lottery settled because he is black. Okay, I don't know. Maybe because I'm surprised it's not the story. Maybe I don't know. But we're just gonna go by it, y'all, because I don't know if the story did get 2019 wrong. Let me see. Let me see if I go to another site. Okay. Because I'm like, he probably must have sued beforehand. Okay. Well, like I said, okay, Troy accused discrimination. Okay, and that might be a typo of 2019. But let's go back to what it said. Now, this man is reeling from one-two punch. First, Detroit sues employer alleging racial discrimination lawsuit that settled confidentially. Then he went to the bank this week. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Complete error, y'all. This is 2020. This article was just made on January 23rd, 2020. Okay. Then he went to the bank this week to cash his settlement checks, but the Livonia Bank, TCA Bank, refused. That's what I'm saying. They ain't saying which one. Refused to cash or deposit his checks. Instead, they called the cops and initiated a fraud investigation. Actions that dumbfounded Thomas and his lawyer triggered another lawsuit. On Wednesday, Thomas sued TCA Bank for alleged race discrimination, saying the Livonia branch mistreated and humiliated him by calling 4 police officers when all he was trying to do was deposit legitimate checks. According to police, the bank's computer system read the checks as fraudulent. Ain't this some bullshit? Let me continue. The TCF Bank spokesman Tom Weinberg said Thursday the TCF Bank abhors racism, and it was not a factor in how the bank handled Thomas's request. He said the checks Thomas presented displayed a watermark that read void when they were scanned in a web viewer. Update, this is in between the story. TV apologized by calling the police on a black customer. Read more here. I ain't buying it. I hope he gets money and money. And Thomas isn't buying, noting the checks cleared 12 hours later. And this was at another branch, but I heard that it was at Chase Bank, okay? He's upset that 2 officers questioned him inside the bank while others stood guard outside, he said, adding that he was an account holder for nearly 2 years at the TCF branch. And here what he says, I didn't deserve treatment like this when I knew that the check was not fraudulent, Thomas told the Free Press. I'm a United States veteran. I have a dishonorable discharge from the Air Force. They discriminated against me because I'm black. None of this would have happened if I was white. Ding, ding, ding. Yep. Okay. Thursday afternoon, TCF issued apologized for the experience Mr. Thomas had with our banking center. Local police should have not been involved. We strongly condemn racism, discrimination in the economy, taking precautions involving law apologists requests for cash, and in this case, we're unable to validate the checks presented by Mr. Thomas and regret he could not meet his needs. Bullshit. Thomas could not disclose the amount of the settlement due to it being part of a confidential agreement stemming from a federal lawsuit against his former employer, Enterprise Leasing Company of Detroit. He said he ended up going to a Chase Bank in Detroit that day and opened up accounts successfully, deposited checks there. The money was made available within 12 hours. Thomas said that while he was at the Livonia Bank, he called his lawyer, prominent law attorney Deborah Gordon, for help and explained that his checks were a legitimate civil suit settlement. But the bank wouldn't take her word for it neither. Ain't this about a bitch? And here's Thomas still talking. I got on the phone with the bank. I sent them my federal court complaint to see that it matched. I did everything, said Gore. Oh, that's Mrs. Gore, okay. Who believes her client was scrutinized because of the color of the skin. Obviously, assumptions were made the minute he walked in based on his race. It's unbelievable that this guy got done with a race discrimination case and he's not allowed to deposit checks based on his case? Oh, that's type error, okay. They meant to say race. Okay, I don't be feeling bad. I've been noticing some of these, like, y'all on these news apps and stuff, like, whatever, whenever you having articles, they be messing up on words, too, and stuff. Okay. Well, let me continue. It's obviously what the department on his race. It's absolutely outrageous, said Gordon, stressing all of this could have been avoided. They could have just called the bank that issues the checks, and they apparently didn't do anything because it would have all been verified immediately. According to TCF's Wahlberg, Thomas presented 3 checks written from Enterprise that day. One was for $59,000. One was for $20,000. Okay, and one for $13,000. They couldn't verify that those checks were due to a settlement. That's bullshit. They seen a black man. They thought it was some fraud. Whatever. Said Weinberg, adding that the bank contacted Enterprise to verify that the checks were part of a lawsuit, but they were able to do so. Okay, then why, when he got and talked with Laura in the verification, they still put him through some BS? But he had no problem going to Chase and the money was cleared less than 20. Okay, whatever. Same checks, same damn checks, y'all. Martinberg said that the assistant manager who waited on Thomas was African American, felt like something didn't look right, so she called the police. Okay, here's the real reality. That does not mean just because a person is the same race. There are people that have self-hatred and stereotype as well, and look at other black people, whether it's based on a combination of the race and the gender and other factors. There are people who have self-issues and will turn and, clutch their pearls and clutch their purpose of wallet or treat somebody like shit, even though we're the exact same race, and think they're better than or less than. Think certain blacks are less than them, or think like certain blacks are not capable of doing this, or people are stupid because of where they were raised, or even some of their language. That's what I'm saying. So that does not mean anything. They're trying to justify that it was not racism. Okay, that is... I don't know if that's the perpetrator. Is that considered systematic racism or internalized racism? I don't even know if that's the right word. That just sounds smart. Okay, but it's self-hatred. That still could be stereotype. It is still discrimination because still... Obviously, the customer got upset at that point, Warner said, adding that Thomas made a highly, highly unusual request. According to Weinberg, Thomas wanted to deposit 2 large checks in the bank account, which Weinberg said had only, in his bank account. His bank account only had 52 cents in it. Okay, I'm keeping it real with y'all. My bank account got 55 cents in it. So, and I don't know if I should go to my Well, I know from this thing, I don't think you're going back to TCF Bank, because I used to have an account with them and shit. F y'all. Y'all ain't got enough locations convenient for me any damn way. But anyway. Well, not everybody. Just that particular branch with that BS. Okay, whatever. Not everybody from there, but whoever was involved with this mess. And I hope by the time he's able to get enough money where if he want to be a cone owner, they better have his face smiling with a thumbs up in the background. And then this Weenie kept said that he had only 52 cents in it, and he wanted to cash the $13,000 check. He said, adding that the bank told him that those funds would be on hold for 2 days, and that Thomas said, fine. Thomas wanted a new debit card because he told the bank his new one wasn't working, he said, and adding that the request sounded unusual as well. Why does it sound unusual? Because he wanted another debit card. You have to wait for... Let's just say if this was Jimmy Neutron or Jimmy West, and he Caucasian, we have the same stuff. That's all I gotta say. Unless there's some rare cases where it would have been like class discrimination, because there are some cases with that. This would have been the same problem, even if he would have had 5 cents in his account. Okay, Weinberg said that he had not yet seen the race discrimination lawsuit that Jordan filed against TCF on Wednesday, but denied that the bank engaged in discriminatory behavior. We disagree with that. I guess you would, but then y'all turn around and apologize. Okay, keep it going with y'all bullshit. Okay, we were looking at the behavior and the ask that he was making. The bank also issued a statement Thursday. Okay, well, the manager, whoever it is, I noticed again that they didn't mention about, okay, then why did you not take the information when he had his lawyer on the phone to verify the checks? You see what I'm saying? Okay. The bank also issued a statement Thursday. TCF Bank is the first business serving the diverse community, and we abhor racism in all forms. Mr. Thompson's transaction was handled like any other transaction involving request of a large amount of cash. Yeah, they need to say in fine print that is a black person, because we don't believe black people actually cared that much money. He must have did some scam through using probably such application software. We didn't believe that blacks were capable of having that much money and stuff like that. Without it being suspicious. That is all. Okay. That's really what the fine print wanted to say. Okay. If they could say anything. Because it's not because of the fact it's a large amount of cash. It's because of who it was. It was a black man. Okay. We regret any inconvenience to Mr. Thomas. The Livonia police officer, because this is already interesting, because I mean sometimes it does have to do with even areas you go to. Now, even though over the years, y'all, in the past like 10 something years, more black people work in Livonia and go to school in Livonia, because I ain't gonna lie, there was two schools that even where I recently graduated went to years was Livonia as well, and even they started to get more black people into the schools, which originally it was mostly like, let's count, instead of where's Waldo, is where's the black person. That's pretty much how it was. So, in other words, and Livonia is still like an area where, I don't personally know, like I said, I know a lot of people are starting to like go to school there and or work there more and shop there more, and, whatever, but it's still not an area, okay, as I hear the term, Negro or nigga in Livonia, okay, nigga in Livonia, okay, I rest the show to Cam, because he say all the time, nigga in Livonia, so anyway, that's pretty much how it is, and I'm not trying to see that I haven't, but I'm just saying it's not an area. It's predominantly a suburb, and it's an area. And it was like a couple years ago. Shoot, I went to like this is kind of like a small park that's attached to a school, and I was up there chilling, watching a YouTube video in my car, and I overheard some headphone when she coincidentally was a white woman with a black kid. Okay, y'all, and I could overhear them because I'm only one in the park, and they have this pool that's open. Excuse me, a certain amount of time. I'm just gonna leave it in there, y'all. Ugh, I ain't about to edit that out. I didn't mean to burp, but this time I'm not putting a warning about it. So anyways, y'all, like I said, this happened 2.5 years ago to me. And I was just chilling, like I said, a park where like I said, it was a very small park. And guess where it was? In Livonia, right? And I'm overhearing this little boy say, oh, she's in the car, blah, blah, blah. That's how small it is. And I'm hearing these people talk about me because, of course, my window's down. And it was before the park was still open. So I wasn't doing anything illegal or nothing like that. I was minding my business and stuff. And then they walk in there 20 minutes later when they come back, because they were walking, towards somewhere. And they came back and I'm hearing like towards the sidewalk. And again, has like, oh, she's still in her car and stuff like that, and blah, 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 which is my business and stuff. But I don't know if they adopted this boy, was it a get out session or whatever. And then all of a sudden, y'all, there's been several times I've been at that park prior to then, and even before then, when they have the police run through there, they don't bother nobody. It's basically like just doing a product. It's never has happened before. All of a sudden, it seemed like once this lady came, and when I'm overhearing this black boy just keeping it real with this white lady, I don't know what the hell was going on, and all of a sudden, y'all, this was like 9 p.m. The park closes at 10 p.m. And I'm all of a sudden, the police car comes, one of the SUV vehicles just comes, like I said, I think at that time, I was about to get ready to leave anyway. But I was in the car, I'm here you got the park, this parking radically, because it's nobody there, some of the spots. And then he comes out with his flashlight, and he's saying that, oh, we were just making sure you're okay. Are you fine? Your well-being? I'm like, yes, I am. I sometimes come to this park and blah, 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 Oh, okay, and left, But the fact is, I'm hearing this bitch, and I'm just going to call it like it is, because all of a sudden, this didn't happen until like afterwards, and I'm hearing this woman talk to this little boy about so-called my well-being. When I'm up here watching a YouTube video, y'all, just getting some fresh air away from the house. But guess where this was? Livonia. And then all of a sudden, somebody's calling, they're all of a sudden conveniently out of nowhere doing a welfare check. And end up like I said, flashlight coming to my damn window stuff or whatever. But then, oh, okay, and left. But the point is, I didn't deal with no shit prior to then. But like I said, I'm a black person still that was in this area. I'm not in the exact same area, but in the exact same city where this shit occurred, okay? So let me continue. The Livonia police officer assigned the case did not return requests for comment. I wonder why. Though she explained some of the bank's concern in the email she sent on Wednesday to Gordon, in which she asked for help in establishing the check's authenticity. tongue twisting. I ain't gonna lie, slash the words. I'm just saying it's not always a time in Livonia there's a problem. But I mean, because they have helped before in certain things. But it was another time they got on my damn nerves. But that was like over 14, 15 years ago. So found my phone when I was going to the community college there, like, in the parking lot, because they called me on the house phone. Left it at the Lawyer police station time, and every time I kept going, oh, the person's there, oh, they're closed, oh, they're not here, they're closed. And I went several times, and then they go call me several months later after I got the damn phone, talking about, oh, why didn't come by the phone? Because my mom still took me up there for whatever reason, because I stopped taking myself up there to go for the video. I just got a whole nother thing, because they were acting like they want to keep my darn raggedy ass phone. And then when I came there, which was after a snowstorm, oh, you were supposed to come at this time. They ended up giving me the phone, but I was like, I didn't care about the phone anyway. But, like I said, there are times dealing with them that they're jackasses. Just keeping it real. But let me get back to the story. Within 10 minutes, 2 Livonia police officers arrived inside the lobby. We're going back to the story now. 2 others remained outside the doors. One of the officers told Thomas that the bank had reported a problem with his checks and wanted to know where he got them. Thomas explained the lawsuit, gave the officer his lawyer's business card, and then called his lawyer himself for help. 2 officers spoke with Gordon, who also explained to the officers and an assistant bank manager that Thomas had settled a federal lawsuit involving race discrimination and that he was trying to deposit his settlement checks. The banks still refused to deposit them, the lawsuit states, and then filed a police report against Thomas for check fraud. Sue these motherfuckers. Sue them. Miss Gordon, and I hope she's represented too in this case. That is some bullshit. Bullshit. So anyway, Thomas closed his TCF account that day and left the premises. Within the hour, he deposited his checks into a new account at a Chase Bank in Detroit. They cleared within 12 hours. Thomas, who had no car and walked to work, used his money to buy a 2004 Dodge Durango. There's nothing wrong with that. He ain't trying to business out. He got enough where he paid in cash, got enough to fill the tank to get the gas, and you know what I mean? Yeah, but he about to get a little bit more. He may, And he said, which is understandable, I want to be vindicated, said Thomas, who feared being arrested that day. I feel very intimidated because I knew that if I would have gotten loud, they would have had me on the ground for disturbance of peace. Well, in cold words, that could have been like, had you on your ground or just some other stuff. Okay. But I didn't get loud. I didn't get confrontational. I did nothing. Thomas said, I had a very long journey, and I feel like I have to go through the same thing again. It's frustrating, but I do know God is in control. Amen to that. Okay, I will be vindicated because I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, the only thing he was wrong on, unfortunately, is you got these a-holes that are discriminating because this is a black man. This is a black person and a black man who, is about to get double the blessing, thousandfold and more. Jordan, meanwhile, Schofield at the bank claims that her client's check appeared to be fraudulent, adding that she picked the checks up from the Budsale Long law firm that day and had a courier deliver them to her client. I'm almost done, y'all. I'm sorry because the checks have never been considered fraudulent. They are proceeds against a settlement written on a check from a large United States corporation that I received from a major law firm. No one is issuing fraudulent checks, Jordan said. The whole thing's insane. So, we're definitely going to give that. Okay, speaking of insanity, I didn't have that much talk today. I know most of the time I talked about it. I know I got 5 minutes left, y'all. Now, earlier today, we got these little, I was going to say Instagram parties, but we're on Instagram and the Grammy stuff like that. But, y'all, it was a little petty with the petties, because, Nicki Minaj is married, whatever, right? Now, first I see yesterday on the Shade Room, there's a rapper, and I honestly have not heard about him. Maybe I need to get into stuff named Wretch, right? And he took a picture with Lil Meek, and he had the same outfit, and then he was in another picture with Nicki Minaj, right? So, Anyways, there was a video came out, and the only one that sent the team is Z, so you can't hear everything. But you hear Nicki Minaj like, yeah, but that bitch, blah, blah. And you hear husband saying, like, something like, husband, man, whatever, petty. Talking about, we outside, and you pussy ass nigga, blah, blah, whatever, right? And Meek Mill, like, we ain't got stuff in one. So, of course, he gonna call, Meek Mill call him pussy ass bitch, because he call him pussy ass bitch, right? And make a long story short, Shade Room was saying, like, basically, Meek Mill was in the store, something like that, and, like, he seen, it was either or, just say they end up at the same damn store, Winston shopping, and Meek Mill wanted to settle, like, basically call a truce, whatever, and according to the Shade Room story, was like, Meek Mill wanted, basically call a truce, and, Zoo was like, because, that's the nickname, Mr. Petty Zoo, I don't know his government name, Zoo Petty, whatever, was like, no, keep that same engine, nigga, blah, blah, blah. Because, even the video, like, there's 100 people outside, there's 50 people outside, blah, 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 whatever, right? And then, the damn film is captured by probably a child because they kept having the film on the floor, whatever, right? So, anyway, y'all, what happened was that, they were, now, if y'all please watch the Lovely T video. She also has a podcast, Lovely T TV. Please watch, because she has a 10-minute full breakdown. She actually received a tea from somebody's friend's friend who worked there, and they're the ones who sent the video to TMZ. She kind of had to re-edit the video. I didn't see the first one, y'all, but she had uploaded the video because that way the person won't get in trouble because there's several people there, right? So, to make a long story short, this is what I got interpretation of, because it's totally different, because Meek Mill wasn't trying to say he was minding his own business. This is what said happened. I think also the same thing what Rich was saying in one of his Instagram stories or live or something like that about also what had happened. He was originally talking to Meek Mill, and what gather is that I guess once the Petties pulled up and shit, they let them know, I guess, either when they came into the store or in their car or coming out of their car into the store to let them know that Meek Mill was there, so it wouldn't be no BS, right? And you got, I think, Zoo Petty or Nicki Minaj people saying, like, well, we don't care. So they didn't want basically getting loud, talking about whatever, it's 50 people outside and stuff, because, Meek Mill also had his entourage and stuff like that, and whatever. So basically it became back and forth like a shouting match, and that's what you end up seeing in the TMZ video, whatever, and I think they end up letting Meek Mill and his people leave. So it was shouting, but it wasn't like it was back and forth, whatever. And then some people say, like, Petty had a problem with him. Zoo had a problem with him because it was a line in a diss show. And so the Nicki Minaj made a diss track, about Meek Mill. But just like Meek Mill, I don't know who did it first. Like I said, it's more information, detail, Lord VT's video. But that's what I'm saying. That's totally different than what the Shade Room was saying about that, like, no, it didn't happen. Basically, Meek Mill was just kind of responding to them talking shit, like, okay, yeah, he in here, whatever, blah, 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 and, like I said, I hear Petty, Zoo calling him pussy ass nigga. I could have heard Nick about, she yelling too, but, like I said, the film and stuff, even though it got so TMZ back it up, you can't see, and there's so much of a difference. They had to have an arrow to point who Meek Mill is, and you can basically hear go back and forth, people talking shit, whatever, but, it is what it is. And, like I said, yeah, in the Meek Mill disc, there was like, in the regular said something about you wearing Bosley, whatever that brand name that starts with a B. Not Burberry, but the other one, Balls Barry, with some boot cut jeans. I was just like, what the heck? But it is what it is, like, I'm glad it wasn't no altercation, but I'm like, it's a hot ass mess. Like, did it really have to go there? But that's still a major difference in the story, y'all. Like, Meek Mill wasn't trying to, he was trying to buy whatever clothes he got, whatever, and, mind his business. So they pulled up there and they were trying to defuse the situation, and here you got where they stood, I'm like, talk about being petty for real. But anyways, y'all, that's all I got. Hugs and loves. I made sure. I know a majority was spent on the story and the story time about Detroit, but I couldn't resist reading it, y'all, the whole article, because I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like I said, I hope we get the more lawsuit, whatever. And, the fact that I don't know if the lawyer can sue them too. Like, I felt disrespected, that you didn't think I was real. I don't know nothing about law like that. So anyways, y'all, I'm about to get into hugs and loves, and I will see y'all in the next one. Take care. God bless. Enjoy this week. And, that's how we gonna wrap it up. Alrighty.